Welcome to Building Legacies podcast. Like we always say, BLDNG, Legacies, Building Legacies. We got to play on the word, BLDNG, Building Legacies. And before we start, remember to like, subscribe, and share to this channel. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, and share to this channel. It'll help us to get more freedom to be able to bring you more valuable information. And remember, this
Absolutely.
information that we're giving you is like normal conversations that people have all over the world. I mean, we're not financial advisors, of course, but we got a little knowledge in some things that we want to share with people. It's like you just having a normal conversation. And I found that when normal people talk about things, you're more inclined to listen because there's not one side, right or left, trying to convince you of a particular thing. You getting so many different viewpoints. But our partner Bridget Smith, she had some things to do tonight, so we said let's go ahead and just put an episode out and just do a little building. But what's going on? How you been doing?
I'm good, man. Can't complain, man. Working hard, start the shot, I'm sweating. You know what I mean? But
I figured that. I said E didn't want to rock tonight, but
now,
huh?
I was actually moving around, earlier, man, taking care of business, it never stops. I gotta get to the gym, because my physical health is central to my whole existence, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
I knew that when you said that. The first thing come to my mind, I'm slacking because I made myself. That's one of the resolutions I have not. I haven't even did one push up. That's one of the resolutions I haven't started on yet. I got to be careful, E, because my born day is coming. February 2nd is my born day, so it's like,
right,
damn, y'all gonna be 56.
right.
And it's like I can't slack right now, and I'm gonna mess around and have the beer belly and all that.
Right. Yeah, man. You definitely gotta get back to it, man. But I know sometimes we be so busy and caught up, man. But for me, I'm intentional about getting it in, like, because I'm so busy with so many things that I'm doing. Sometimes I would like a week, well, I might only get to the gym maybe twice in that week. I'd be like, yeah, I gotta turn it up. So, um, yeah, sometimes we got to be intentional about it and make that a priority. You know what I mean? But I encourage you to even just get something in your house. You know what I mean? See, I actually go to a gym, you know what I mean? Because I like the gym setting, but get something in the house, do some push ups, body weight. You got to do a whole lot. You know
But
what I
I
mean?
got it. I got the 15s. I got the 25, and it's like I just look at them lately, man, again, and
Yeah.
did something. But but listen, E, it's been a lot going on, man, in the world. But I guess we're gonna talk about it. The DEI, we're gonna talk about that on the next episode when our
Right.
partner here. The market is going crazy. It's going up and down, and the uncertainty of what's going on with all these executive orders um, that's going through. So,
Right.
like I said, this is Building Legacies podcast, and we always talk about a myriad of different things. But so me and he just gonna go into it, and I know you had something on your mind. You wanted to not really discuss into depth, but I know you
Right.
want to check this book out. I haven't checked it out, but I can still have a dialogue with you about
Right. Yeah, no doubt, man. Because you know what our podcast is about. It's about empowerment, right? And that's, on every level, financial, uh, spiritual, physical. You know what I mean? But so with me personally, I like to read books. I'm an avid reader, right? So it's one book in particular that I pick up every now and again, right? It's called The Wealthy Code. And on a later episode or another episode, we're gonna go more in depth about it. But the reason why I like this book is because it gives you an overview of what the wealthiest people do, how they think, how they operate. You know what I mean? Because wealth, especially first generation wealth, it's not built by accident. You have to be intentional. You have to know what it consists of,
it.
the steps that you need to take. So, in this book in particular, it tells you, well, different vehicles, right, that you could use. It talks about real estate, obviously. That's something that is
Absolutely.
heavily promoted, that a lot of people are familiar with. Um, Another hidden vehicle that's not talked about much is insurance policy, right? Whole life insurance, and how wealthy people, even corporations, use insurance policies and the cash value aspect. You get the death benefit of an insurance policy. as an individual, right? You get the death benefit. So when you pass away, your heirs, your spouse would receive, monies, to help them keep moving forward with their lives,
We
right?
have a guest coming on soon to talk about
Right.
this as well. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that episode too, because I want to talk about specifically that aspect of life insurance. Now we know with life insurance, you have just term policies, you know what I mean, where you pay monthly, receiving a death benefit, but the wealthy use insurance policies for the cash value. So we're gonna get into that, and I want to, like I said, I'm looking forward to our guest coming on, so she could expound for us on that. But in this book, it talks about, like we talked about, the definition of wealth, because I've seen wealth defined differently, and I know off camera we was talking about it. Just you got a conventional definition of wealth, what it is. We just think we have to be like a billionaire to be wealthy. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we think we have to be hundreds of millions, or you know what I'm saying? But in this book, and Robert Kiyosaki, we know the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, he did the introduction in this book.
What's the name of that bookie?
Oh, it's called The Wealthy Code.
Okay.
By George Antone.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get it yet, but and go through
Right.
it so we can be prepared for that episode. But
yeah,
I just thought that because me, my perception, maybe I didn't look up the definition, or I don't know if this book is going by the complete definition, because I always thought wealth was a little bit past, because you got comfortability, right? And then you have being rich, and then you have wealthy, and I always somehow separated all those levels. So I didn't know wealthy, perceived, and what definition they use it as in this book.
Right. So it was, like I said, it was unconventional when I read it because of my previous perception of what it meant. To now, rich has a specific definition to it, right? According to even governmental standards. If you have $1 million net worth, right, you're considered rich in America.
Okay.
Right? Not including your personal home, your primary home. But a lot of the times people will include their primary home and the equity that they have in that to include with their net worth. Yeah. Right? You say, okay, I got $200,000 in equity in my home, so we include that into our net worth. By definition, that's excluded. Now, how they define it is if you have for the last 2 years had an income of $250,000 or $300,000 if you're married. Yeah. Right? For 2 consecutive years and expecting it to continue the third year, you were considered by governmental standard and investment standards as rich. Okay. Right? People don't know that the exact definition of rich, right? Or you have $1 million net worth. Now, wealthy is completely separated from being rich, right? Wealthy entails it don't have a specific number to it. Like we spoke on a previous episode, it don't have a specific number to it. It's based on your accumulation of assets, stocks, and how he defined it was, you're wealthy if your passive income, money that you're generating from your investments, so your real estate, your stocks, your business, your passive income exceeds your living expenses, right? You're considered wealthy, right? You are out of the rat race.
And in terms of that specific individual that wrote that book.
Right. Well, Robert Kiyosaki, he's using Robert Kiyosaki's definition.
And I just want to say this real quick, because a lot of times when I have conversations with people about this, many times they think it's lofty dreams, right? It's out of the realm of reality to have these conversations. And are you talking about being rich, or even having the discussion on wealthy, and you may not even be well off, right? So it's like, for me, I love these conversations because it's is within the realm of reality, right? For
Right.
many of us who know what financial independence look like and feel like and want to continue to have it, right? So
Right.
it's in the realm of the conversation. I just wanted to throw that in there. So to get back to what you were saying, wealth to them, because when I think of Robert Kiyosaki, because I've read so many articles on him, read the books, right? Few of them that he haven't seen him online, and
Mm-hmm.
he would tell somebody that I'm cash poor, right? He would say that I don't really have liquid cash,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I have a tremendous amount of wealth, right?
Right.
As far as not paying taxes, that's another situation. But so are they pertaining to wealth as far as the accumulation of assets, not actually the tangible cash that it brings in?
Right. Exactly. It's the assets. But the assets is what's generating or giving off the passive income. Because think about it, in the world we live in, we can't live without income. Income is king. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So according to them, we pursue riches, right? And we can't even pay our bills on the first.
absolutely. Yeah.
So what they're saying is get financially free. Get out of the rat race,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, have your dreams of getting rich, right? But focus on getting out of the rat race. And how you will do that is the accumulation of assets, and those assets are generating. Like, say for instance, you got real estate, you got rental property, so you're getting passive income from your rental income. You get what I'm saying? Then you may have stocks. You're getting dividends. Um, you're selling options, which is another conversation I want us to get into eventually. You're generating income off your stock portfolio,
Absolutely.
right? So all of that income is allowing you that personal freedom. And if that income exceeds your personal or your monthly expenses, you're considered wealthy at that point,
Mm.
right? And they used a small amount, which, like I said, that's based. It was an unconventional idea, so I had to wrap my
So
head.
general consensus is the viewpoint of a few, or can you broadly say that's actually what wealth is?
Well, Robert Kiyosaki's take on a lot of things is unconventional,
Okay, I got you, bro. I follow you. I follow you.
but
It makes sense. You saying?
it makes sense because I see him debate other people with conventional wisdom, and he said, "Well, listen, that way of thinking is like incorrect, right?" And he said what's working for him. So when I read it and then I processed it, I said it makes sense, right? So getting out of the rat race has to be a primary goal, right? Well, it is for me. I'm gonna say for me, right? Whereas I'm generating passive income from my money's working for me. My investments, my real estate, my stock portfolio, I'm getting money from that every month, and it's paying my bills and exceeding it, right? So I don't have to physically be at no job
Yeah,
every day,
yeah.
right? You understand what I'm saying? So, and there's another thing I want to expound on, right? When we're talking about wealth, because it's a big misconception, and we don't pursue it the way we should. We pursue um like jobs and just working for our money. So let me give you an example. You got two individuals, they live next door to each other, right? Both of them are earning $100,000 a year, hypothetically. One person, he's generating $100,000 from his job. Like, he goes to work every morning, 9 to 5. He's getting $100,000 a year. His next door neighbor is getting $100,000 a year, but it's coming from his assets, his passive. He's really worth about $10 million,
Okay.
but 10%. Well, just say he's worth. He say he could be worth $1 million, and he getting 10% annual income from his investments,
Mm-hmm.
$100,000.
Mm-hmm.
The guy with the job thinks he's equal to his next door neighbor that's generating his income off his investments, but you're not equal to him because technically you're only worth your monthly salary or your weekly salary. If you get fired, it's over, right? It's over right away. And you can't pass on a job to the next generation, to your heirs,
Absolutely.
right? So, but he would think he's equal to this guy because they are getting the same amount of money annually. Same lifestyle. He got the same car as him. You know, he got the same everything. But when you get up and go to work in the morning, you see his car still parked in front of his house. He ain't going anywhere. He wake up at 1 in the afternoon if he want to. You get what I'm saying? So you're not equal to him because his money is working for him.
Absolutely.
So I like to point that out because sometimes we get confused. We so focused on we don't know. We said we making $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. You slaving for it, right? So I mean, get how you got to get it, but the ultimate goal should be to make your money work for you. Where, like I mentioned, your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So you're good. You're out of the rat race.
I got you. And that's the, and for most entrepreneurs, that's what they want to get to. They want to get to the point where it exceeds what your income exceeds that what you putting out, right? Your liabilities, right? So you want your income to be more than that. So I understand. I'm gonna have to get my hand on that book so I can be more in tune. But I understand the Robert Kiyosaki method. But I want to get so I can be more in line with you to understand that wealth dynamic and the mindset in which they trying to put, or which they trying to convey. You know, because I've always associated wealth with that 1% that they say, you know, is only 1%.
Right.
That only 1% of the world's wealth, you know, and vice versa. What?
Right.
90% of us only is fighting for the 10%, right? 90%. Right. Yeah. So I've always associated with that.
Now, and that's correct. It's levels, obviously, but the thing is, like we mentioned, it's no set number to becoming wealthy. Mm-hmm. Like you think about it for a second. It's like, at what number that I can say I'm wealthy? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Is it 50 million? Is
it a standard that people follow to say? Because let's say you got the Forbes list of wealthy Americans or the Ford list of X, Y, and Z. Is that considered wealthy as opposed to, you know, someone who's not on the list, and someone who's not on the list with a certain with a certain amount that's worth a certain amount? Are they considered more wealthy than the individual who you just gave me of the $100,000 that's getting it
right now? You
see what I'm saying? So I guess perception, huh?
Yeah, but they are wealthier.
Okay.
But it's still wealth, right? This person has wealth.
Yeah.
Right? Now, these people that's 1%, they're wealthier. Yeah. Right? But that person that has that $1 million portfolio that's giving him $100,000, he has wealth. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
I understand.
He has wealth. But then you got the wealthier people. You know what I mean? So it's no like set number. Like if you own assets, right, that appreciating assets, you have wealth, right, and that you can leverage. That's the thing about wealth. When you own land, you own real estate, stock portfolio, you can leverage that. Like you can't go to the bank solely with your job and say, listen, I need $100,000.
To a degree, yeah.
To a degree. And they say, what you got? You say, well, I got a job. They say, well, it's going to be harder. Right? The only thing you can present is a job. But if you go to that bank and say, I need $100,000, I have this as collateral, assets, you're more likely going to get that loan because it's you borrowing against something that if the bank is looking at it like, or the lender, whoever, it's like, okay, in the event that you default, we have something that we could take to get our money back. Yeah. Now, with your job, they're going to say, okay, all you got is your job. You know what I mean? Now, we give you something, but because you can show you have some income coming in. But nothing like when you have assets, tangible, that you can say, listen, I have this. No problem. They'll write you a check right away. Once, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So I understand the dynamic from what you're saying. And it's all, and I like that when you said wealthier. So it's all a perception of how somebody see it.
Right.
But the goal is ultimately to be financially free, right? The goal is ultimately to one step at a time create these assets. And we know that real estate is one of the number one asset accumulation things to get you financially free. But one step at a time to accumulate these assets until you get to the point where now you don't no longer have to put the work in. You're not working. You're not trading your time for money.
Right.
And that's the goal we want to get to. So yeah, I understand it. Yeah, I understand exactly.
Right. That's the goal. And with this book, it talks about helping you to realize and set that goal. Then you know everything you're doing is working toward that. So whether you have your job, you're setting aside a portion of your income so that you can make these investments. If you you're in real estate, you're flipping houses, right? The profits you're getting from that,
Yeah,
you're using so that you could purchase these assets. So everything that you're doing is leading up to purchasing assets so you could accumulate wealth that's generating income, right? Because you can't live nowhere in the world without income, like cash flow. Like cash flow is king, right?
yeah.
So everything you're doing, you say, okay, I got my job or whatever, but the income I'm getting from this, I'm saving so that I can make these investments, right?
I get it. I get it. I got it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's the key. That's the strategy of the book. Is that the totality of the book? Is just showing you increments of how to get to that level, or
Right.
it's just giving you the perspective of what wealth is?
Well, it's giving you a perspective of to help you wrap your mind around the idea of it,
Okay.
right? And then it's showing you the vehicles that you could utilize to get there,
Gotcha.
right? Like we mentioned, insurance policies. Nobody teach us about that we could utilize insurance policy. Because when you think of an insurance policy, all you think of is something, okay, when I die, my family can pay for my funeral.
Yeah.
And they have,
Most people thinking about extra money going out every month, right? And
right,
what it's for if I can't get anything back, you know.
exactly,
We weren't taught that, so you're absolutely right. You can,
right,
yeah,
exactly. And the cash value,
yeah,
get what I'm saying, of an insurance policy. You have the death benefit,
yeah,
which we spoke of, where you pass away, your family gets, a lump sum of money.
yeah,
But the cash value is something that you could utilize and leverage while you're here,
absolutely,
right? And you're investing into the insurance policy beyond just like a term policy where you might be paying $30, $40, $50 a month.
yeah,
You putting what you can in there. It's an investment. It's an investment vehicle
absolutely,
that
absolutely.
you begin to accumulate that you could borrow against, at a particular point. Once you accumulate a certain amount, you could borrow against it, and your policy is still generating money because you're getting an annual return as far as percentage. It's an investment vehicle.
That's true. Now, with this investment vehicle that you speak about, the insurance policy, when you take a loan out on that, because it's various ways you can utilize it for, right? But
Right.
let's just say this one way: if you take a loan out on it, you're just paying back that loan that you borrowed from your policy, or are you paying back an interest on that? And that's what I would like to know when we have our guests, unless you can answer that.
Right. Now, when we have our guests, I'm sure that the guests could go more in depth,
Yeah,
right? But from my understanding, you know that if you don't ever pay it back, it's no issue with the insurance company. Because what's going to happen is when you pass away, they're just going to deduct that from the amount that they were going to put out. So say that you got $1 million policy, you using this system took out $150,000, $200,000. Now you could pay it back, right? And they may have an interest on it, but say you don't pay it back. When you pass away, that $1 million policy that you had, they're going to subtract that $200,000 from that and give the difference to your family. So that's a whole other conversation. I have some literature on that, and I'm sure when we get our guest on,
Yeah,
they could elaborate more.
absolutely.
But that's a vehicle that we had no idea about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what the wealthy uses. Corporations use insurance policy.
Absolutely.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
I don't know how true this is, but they say a lot of the entertainers or rappers, so to speak, that they're whoever companies they're under been getting policies on them. And I did really I don't understand the dynamic, so I don't want to give false information here. I always wondered how can someone or someone else get a get a policy on you without you knowing or consenting.
Right, right. Yeah, that's crazy. Unless it's in the fine print, you signing all this paperwork and don't have no idea that that's what you are agreeing to.
So that's another question. So I got to get my questions down for them. But like like always, man. We man, this was good, man. This was a good conversation, man, and this is good to put out there. And our number one focus when we created Building Legacies, man, was to show that you have guys like us who, yeah, we like sports, but not really. We're not sports fanatics. We like politics, and we're not fanatics. We like of I'm a fanatic and you're a fanatic in investing and learning entrepreneurship and
Right,
trying to become financially free. We're fanatics in that, but don't have all the answers. So this
right,
platform we created was to bring people on so they can give the full spectrum of
right,
what the conversations that we have. We know some things, we know a lot of things, but there's a lot of things we don't know. So this was the platform that we created for that. And I'm always enriched every time we have this conversation. It's like we was in the barber shop. It's like we was just hanging out at a restaurant. Is whatever it is, we're giving each other good information. So as always, I enjoyed it 1,000% as always.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, and also, like I said to our viewers, audience, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate the support. Continue to support. We're going to continue bringing y'all information as we receive it. We're going to bring y'all guests to, give y'all the all of the necessary details to the concepts. Like I said, like, subscribe, share, comment. We always say, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Absolutely. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And those comments is very important because if anything you hear you don't feel is right or it was misquoted or misstated, let us know in the comments so we
Right,
can correct that. We can always come out and correct that. And there's no stupid question. And so we're gonna always we're open to learn and to be and to make a mistake. That's being human. That's life. You make a mistake sometimes you say something and you have to retract it or you have to say, listen, I misspoke on X, Y, and Z. So the comments is very important. We want y'all to like, subscribe, and share, and importantly, comment. So as always, man, we come with love. Thank you for tuning in to Building Legacies podcast. And until the next time when our partner get back, we see y'all later.
all right, peace.